All right, let's do this. We're diving deep into real estate investing today. We've got this awesome guide someone sent us,
Oh, yeah.
and we're going to pull out those key takeaways
Nice.
to get you started investing, right?
It's smart to really understand the lay of the land.
Exactly. And this guide is really great at laying out the options, you know?
Oh.
It starts with the types of real estate investments you could make, like residential, commercial, and REITs.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go through those in detail, but then also things like setting investment goals.
Uh-huh.
But remember, we're not focusing on the basics that, we assume you probably already know.
Right, right.
We're trying to get to that next level.
What I find really interesting is how those lines are getting blurry,
Oh, yeah.
between these categories, especially with like Airbnb
Mm.
and how e-commerce is changing retail spaces.
So true. Like the guide mentions vacation rentals, right? As part of residential investments,
Right.
which makes me wonder, is a condo in like a tourist hotspot really more like a commercial property? Yeah, even though it's technically residential.
That is a great point.
Right.
And it really shows why understanding your goals
Mm-hmm.
and the specific market are so important.
Yeah.
Because a vacation rental, you're going to need a different management style than a traditional long-term rental,
Yeah, yeah.
even though they're both residential.
It seems like no matter what, property you're thinking about, like location analysis is key.
Absolutely.
And the guide really digs deep into all these factors like
Mhm.
job growth, school districts, even just like the availability of amenities.
Yeah. Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, those factors really impact property value
Mm-hmm.
and your ability to attract tenants
Right.
or buyers, right?
Right.
But it's not just about checking boxes.
Hmm.
It's about understanding the nuances of each market.
Okay.
So like strong job growth,
Yeah.
that's attractive, right?
Right.
But if there's a sudden influx of inventory, that could really hurt your chances for appreciation.
It's like this puzzle where all the pieces have to fit together.
It is, yeah.
Right. You got to understand how everything in the local market works.
Exactly. And don't forget about the legal side of things.
Oh, right.
Like zoning laws, landlord-tenant laws,
Okay.
those can really impact your investment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're not aware of those, you could run into some unexpected problems.
Okay. So say we've found our market.
Okay.
We've found a property type we like.
Okay.
Now we
No.
got to figure out the money, the financing.
Right.
The guide mentions the conventional mortgage, but I'm guessing there's a lot more to it than that.
Definitely not the whole story.
Hmm.
There are a ton of financing options,
Okay.
each with their own pros and cons,
Right.
like hard money loans.
Mm-hmm.
Those can be great when you need capital fast,
Okay.
like if you're doing a fix and flip, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the interest rates are much higher than a traditional mortgage.
The guide also mentions partnering with other people.
Yeah.
Is that common?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's a great way to pool your resources and to tap into the knowledge of someone more experienced.
Oh, okay.
It's a good way to lower your risk and learn the ropes.
Speaking of lowering your risk,
Yeah.
the guide spends a lot of time on due diligence. It says that property inspection is so important.
It is.
We don't want to end up with a money pit.
You don't want to inherit someone else's problem.
Right.
A good inspection, you really can't skip that.
Okay.
It's about finding those hidden problems
Mm-hmm.
that you might not see otherwise,
Yeah.
like a foundation issue
Uh-huh.
that can cost you tons of money down the line.
Wow.
Better to spend a few $100 up front,
Right.
get that inspection, and avoid disaster.
It's like insurance
Oh.
against hidden problems.
Exactly.
But due diligence isn't just the physical inspection.
No, it's also about a solid financial analysis,
Okay.
like looking at the cap rate,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically a measure of the property's rate of return.
Okay.
A higher cap rate
Yeah.
usually means a better investment. But you got to compare it to similar properties in the area.
So it's not about the number itself.
Yeah.
It's about comparing it to other similar properties.
Exactly.
Okay.
And don't forget the title search.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Make sure there aren't any litigants
Yeah.
or legal claims on the property.
So we've done all of our due diligence.
Okay.
The numbers look good.
Huh.
We're ready to close the deal.
Great.
Time to sit back and wait for that rent money, right?
Yeah.
Or is there more to property management?
There's definitely more to it.
Okay.
Reliable tenants are just the beginning.
Right.
You got to handle maintenance requests,
Mm-hmm.
deal with landlord-tenant laws,
Yeah.
all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot to think about.
The guide talks about being proactive with tenant screening.
Mm-hmm.
What are some things to look for?
Credit reports,
Okay.
rental history are essential,
Yeah.
but also employment verification,
Mm.
income stability.
Right.
You're not just looking for someone to pay rent.
Right.
You want someone who's responsible,
Right.
who will take care of your property.
And building good relationships with those tenants is key.
It is, yeah.
It could prevent problems later on.
Absolutely. Clear communication,
Yeah.
being responsive to their needs
Right.
really helps build that positive relationship.
So it's more than just collecting rent.
Right.
It's being a good property owner.
It is.
And creating a good living experience.
Exactly.
And we can't forget about the money.
Right.
Managing a property requires you to keep track of everything.
You got budget.
Pay expenses on time.
Yeah.
The guide also mentions taxes.
Yes.
Which everyone loves, right?
Oh, of course.
Are there any good things when it comes to taxes?
You know, there are actually several tax advantages when it comes to real estate investing.
Okay.
Like deductions for mortgage interest, property taxes,
yeah.
operating expenses.
Okay.
Those can really lower what you owe.
Yeah. That is good to hear. That is good to hear. Are there any other tax benefits we should know about?
Absolutely. Depreciation's a big one.
Okay.
It lets you deduct a portion of the property's value each year for wear and tear.
Okay.
It's like recognizing that the property loses value over time.
So even if my property's going up in value, I can still claim depreciation.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a great way to lower your taxable income.
Wow.
The guide also mentions 3031 exchanges, which would be huge for investors.
Right.
Basically, you can defer capital gains taxes when you sell a property,
Okay.
as long as you reinvest the money into a similar one.
So I could sell a property, make money, and not pay taxes on that profit.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Wow.
There are some requirements, of course,
Okay.
but it's a great way to grow your portfolio
Wow.
without getting hit with a big tax bill.
I'm starting to see why people love real estate investing. It seems like there's real potential
There is.
to build wealth strategically.
Yeah. But don't forget,
Yeah.
real estate is about people, just like any other business.
Yeah.
Building a good network is really important.
So who are the key people we should be connecting with?
Real estate agents are a good start.
Okay.
They know the local market.
Right.
You've also got other investors, real estate attorneys, contractors, if you're doing renovations.
So it's about building a team of people you trust
It is, yeah.
to help guide you.
Exactly.
This has been great.
Yeah.
We've covered so much.
We have.
But I feel like there's still more to learn.
Oh, yeah.
The guide mentions some more advanced strategies.
Right.
Are those things that anyone can do?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
The guide talks about fix and flip, buy and hold,
Okay.
even real estate development.
All right.
They're more complex.
Yeah.
But definitely achievable
Okay.
with the right knowledge.
Now I'm really curious. Let's dig into these advanced strategies and see how we can take real estate investing to that next level.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, as we get into these more advanced strategies, it's really important to remember that they need more commitment
Okay.
and understanding.
That makes sense. We're not talking about the basics anymore.
Right.
So let's start with fix and flip.
Okay.
Sounds cool, but also kind of scary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not for everyone.
What are the things to think about before doing a fix and flip?
Well, first, you need to be able to spot properties with good bones.
Okay.
So properties that have potential, but need some work.
So being able to see past what's there now.
Right.
And imagine what it could be.
Exactly.
But it can't just be about how it looks.
No. You have to think about the costs.
Yeah.
You need a realistic budget.
Okay.
You have to figure out how much those renovations will cost. Materials, labor, permits, and, you know, there are always unexpected things that come up.
Yeah, of course.
If you underestimate those costs, it can really hurt your profit.
I bet having good contractors is important for this strategy.
Oh, yeah.
Delays and going over budget could be a problem.
A good contractor can make or break the whole project.
Okay.
Do your research. Get bids from different people.
Right.
Check their references.
Okay. So we found our property. Our budget is good.
Okay.
We've got a great contractor.
Okay.
What's next?
Now, the fun part, the renovation.
Okay.
But you got to have a clear vision. Who are you trying to sell this to?
Yeah.
What are they looking for?
It seems like knowing the local market is key here.
It really is.
What works in one place might not work somewhere else.
Exactly. And once it's done,
Yeah.
don't forget about staging and marketing.
Okay.
You need good photos
Yeah.
and a description that makes people want to buy it.
So making the property look as good as possible.
Exactly.
Showing off its best features.
And timing matters too.
Okay.
You want to sell quickly,
Right.
So you're not paying for it for too long.
Yeah.
So fix and flip is about adding value and selling fast.
Yeah.
Let's talk about buy and hold now.
Okay.
That seems more like a long-term plan.
It is, yeah.
More about building wealth over time.
Exactly.
It's less work than fix and flip,
Mm.
but you still need a plan.
Right.
I'm guessing location is super important with buy and hold.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You need a place where people want to rent
Mm-hmm.
and where the value will go up.
Right. You
Yeah.
want to see that steady economic growth,
Yeah.
a good lifestyle that'll attract tenants,
Okay.
being close to jobs, good schools, things like that. Those are all important factors.
We've got to make sure that the property will make money.
Absolutely.
Factor in all the expenses.
Mortgage, property taxes, insurance,
Yeah.
maintenance, even potential vacancy.
The guide mentioned landlord-tenant laws.
Mm-hmm.
Anything specific we should know?
Security deposits, leases, eviction procedures.
Mm-hmm.
It all depends on where you are.
Yeah.
So you got to know the rules in your area.
Yeah.
Right. So being a landlord is more than just finding a tenant.
It is
Collecting rent.
You got to be informed
Right.
and do things the right way.
So we've covered fix and flip, buy and hold.
Yep.
Now let's talk about real estate development.
Right.
This feels like the big leagues.
It is pretty complex.
Yeah.
You need a lot of money and experience
What does it involve?
buying land,
Okay.
getting permits,
Mm-hmm.
finding financing,
Okay.
managing construction,
Wow.
then marketing and selling.
That's a lot.
It is.
It's not just buying and selling. You're creating something new.
Exactly. You need vision,
Mm.
expertise,
Okay.
and a lot of money.
So who does this kind of stuff?
People who like to take risks,
Okay.
who like to build things.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for someone who wants to sit back.
Right.
You have to be involved every step of the way.
The guide says it can be rewarding,
Mm-hmm.
but also risky.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What are some of the risks?
Well, the market can change.
Right.
Real estate goes up and down.
Yeah.
And if the market goes down,
Yeah.
it can hurt your project.
So timing is everything.
It really is. Construction can get delayed.
Huh.
Costs can go up.
Right.
Zoning laws can change.
Wow.
You might even find environmental problems.
It sounds like you need a good plan
Definitely.
and good people to work with.
You need a whole team of experts.
Yeah.
Architects, engineers, contractors,
Okay.
lawyers, financial advisors.
And a lot of money.
You need a lot of capital.
Right.
Most developers use a mix of their own money
Mm-hmm.
and borrowed money.
So it's not just about the idea.
Right.
You need to know how to run a business.
Exactly. It's a lot more than just building.
We've learned about so many different ways to invest.
We have.
From the simple to the complex,
Mm-hmm.
each with its own pros and cons.
Right.
But there's one thing we can't forget.
And that is?
Taxes.
Ah, yes, the ever-present taxes.
We can't avoid them.
Yep.
So let's go back and look at how taxes work,
Okay.
especially with these more advanced strategies.
Sounds good.
I guess taxes are just part of life.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
They're always there.
Even when we're talking about real estate and investing.
Right. But you
Yeah.
know what? If you really understand how taxes work,
Yeah.
it can actually help you
Okay.
make more money.
Right.
And pay less in taxes.
Okay. I'm listening.
We talked about deductions before,
Mm-hmm.
like for mortgage interest,
Yeah.
property taxes. How do those actually work?
Yeah. And are there any special tricks we should know about?
Let's take depreciation.
Okay.
Talked about that earlier.
Sure.
You can deduct a portion of the property's value
Right.
each year for wear and tear.
Okay.
So,
Right.
say you have a rental property
Uh-huh.
and your depreciation deduction is $5,000.
Okay.
That means you can lower your taxable income
Mm-hmm.
by $5,000.
Okay.
So you could save thousands in taxes.
So depreciation is kind of like a hidden bonus.
It is, yeah.
That helps offset the costs of owning a property.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see how this can be a good thing.
It gets even better with the 1031 exchange.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that before.
You can delay paying taxes on your profit
Right.
when you sell a property
Okay.
if you use that money to buy another property.
Right.
So let's say you sell a property
Yeah.
and make $100,000.
Okay.
You don't have to pay taxes on that right away.
Okay.
You can use a 1031 exchange,
Mhm.
buy another property,
Right.
and avoid that tax bill.
It's like a loophole that lets you keep investing
Kind of, yeah.
without losing a chunk to taxes.
It's a great strategy.
Wow.
But there are rules.
Of course.
You have to do it the right way.
Right.
So talk to an expert.
Yeah, it sounds like having a tax person on your team is important.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
They can make sure you're doing everything right.
This whole deep dive has been amazing.
I agree. We've covered so much.
We talked about the different ways to invest,
Mm-hmm.
From the simple to the more complicated. We talked about market research, financing,
Due diligence,
property management,
taxes.
everything.
It's been a great overview.
I feel like I know so much more now.
I hope so.
But as we're wrapping up,
Yeah.
I have one last question.
Okay.
What's the most important advice
Mhm.
you would give to someone who's just starting out?
Real estate investing is a journey.
Okay.
There will be good times and bad times.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Learn as much as you can.
Okay.
Build a good team around you.
Right.
And most importantly, take action.
I love that. Keep learning and just go for it.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being here today.
It was my pleasure.
And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into real estate investing. We hope you learned a lot and that you feel ready to start exploring this exciting world. Remember, even the biggest real estate empires started with a single investment. So take that first step and see where it takes you. Thanks for tuning in to the Deep Dive. We'll catch you on our next episode.